Indian auto component industry has reported a record year in FY 2022. I'm joined by India's second largest auto component manufacturer, Minda Group's chairman, Mr. N.K. Munda. Congratulations for achieving this feat. The entire industry grew by 23% in rupee term. We'll talk about the dollar scenario also because of the change in the currency that we have seen. What's your target for this year? Where do you think you will be reaching? You had a target to achieve 15,000 crore revenue this year, group level. Do you think you will be able to achieve, and what would be the driver?
Yeah, we will be able to achieve much better than that. 15,000 crore, you said the right figure. See, our endeavor has been always to grow 1.5x from the industry. If industry is growing 1x, we must grow 1.5x. So there are 3-4 parameters. There are 3-4, areas where how do we want to grow 1.5x? One is the increasing in the kit value in the existing vehicles. The new technologies, new product, and in the EV vehicles, the LED lights are coming. So kit value is increasing. If you look at our kit value portfolio in different segment, from A segment car to B segment, C segment, and in the economy segment to medium and premium segment. So our kit value is increasing. Secondly is that, there are some OEMs were not our kind of a main customers. There our number of products we were supplying less. So this is the, like Hyundai, Kia, and even including Tata and all. So there we are increasing. Third, like in our product, some application ratio, like in the alloy wheel, the application ratio is increasing in the two-wheeler segment as the four-wheeler segment. Today, in the past, last year we were, let's say, 25%. This year we are 35%. And going forward, there is a big opportunity to increase it to 80% as that in the Europe and all that.
Very well explained that your per kit value is increasing, you are expanding to the new customer, your parts application is increasing, like you said about the alloy that has become really popular. Just want to understand over the next few years, people are talking about case as being main driver of the growth. How do you see connectivity? Because that is becoming one of the biggest area of change where it is happening. A lot of people are getting into software. How Minda industry is looking at, how are you looking at that software, as your core competence when it comes to mobility?
So thank you once again, Nabil. See, we have divided our product. Already we are 25 kind of a different product in the four-wheeler segment and 19 in the two-wheeler segment. So these are, we call it core product. Along with that, we have synergy product and then diversified product. So if the synergy product, the pace, you call it case, we call it pace. Actually, pace means P means personalization, A means ADAS, and C means connected, and E means electrification. So all these are synergetic products with us. We are already in the ADAS, in the camera, RPAS and all that, and this is going to be LiDAR and all that. Personalization, we are already in the interior lighting, the ambient lightings. So there are a lot of personalization in the seating, hot seating, cold seating, and similarly connected. You said IT also. We are already supplying our telematics with our cloud to Toyota Fortuner, also to REML, also to Honda in the past and the Honda Connect. So we are already, and going forward, we are increasing our software content, our portfolio in that. As far as the electrification is concerned, you know that we have already JV is already in place for the Freevo, where, we will be getting at least 25-30% market share of all powertrain of EV with this Freevo. We are already supplying to Bajaj, Hero, and TVS for the Freevo product, and our own developed product on the EV two-wheeler segment, three-wheeler segment. In the four-wheeler segment, we are working on our own and also looking for some partners for the powertrain to take the cake of the industry.
Just want to understand, when you think of investing, which are the areas that you think these are futuristic technology may not be getting so much of advantage right now, but you think that will be good for future, and what would be your message to your counterparts in the Indian auto component space where they should invest?
See, the technology is changing in all the product line. Even our product line and all the auto component product line, because of the EV, there are some technology change, as I given the example of the LED lighting in the lighting. So similarly, there are many component low current. So therefore, they have to be agnostic to the EV, whether it is four-wheeler or two-wheeler. And they must spend on the technology. Technologies are electrification, hydrogen, hybrid, and all these new technologies are coming. Wherever they have core business and they have competency to do that. Not that just to diversify, they must do the diversification. Unless and until some customers tell them to invest there or to diversify.
So you mean to say that the main impacted segment would be engine and its parts. So you are saying that try to expand into a business which will remain relevant even after electrification takes place. That means interiors, lighting, wiring, and all those kind of stuff where people can, focus right now. That's your thought. Just want to understand, today McKinsey has projected 15% electrification by 2030. Do you think it will be, is it very conservative, or you think that's the right number we'll be reaching?
So very difficult to say so. Good question. But I think this big four or all this company would know much better. But I'd look at this way, that in the European country or in the American country, they have stopped building IC engine platform for the future. So once India stop any new model IC engine, then I think it will be a real good traction. Still in India, we are manufacturing, or we are making a new model for IC as well as, and it is going to take time. And the reason we all know is the infrastructure, the parts availability, the component availability. Right now, all the even two-wheeler OV, the localization is very less because of FAME 2. There are assembling, but the speedy localization is going on. So unless and until we localize, we do the right infrastructure, it is very difficult to say, but I think it is a fairly a good number. 15% is a good number. Maybe we can do much better in the four-wheeler segment, PV segment, but two-wheeler segment we will rapidly grow.
For this year, FY 2013, how do you see PV's volume, including ICE and EV?
PV, I would look at this way, Nabilji, that in the last 40 years, we have reached to a level of 4 million. And to me, I'm always a very positive guy, and the way our 5 trillion economy is growing, the industry is growing, I see in next 10 years we should reach 8 to 10 million.
Okay. What would be the terminal volume for passenger vehicles in terms of ICE?
IC?
ICE, yeah.
Oh my God, again, this is a percentage you are asking. So you are taking me back to the IC versus EV versus hybrid. I think this is a mix is going to be there. We all need to wait and watch how the cost of the vehicle, the infrastructure, the consumer's demand and all things. I think this is a wait and watch story. But all the segment will have, basically the PV segment will have all four portfolio.
I just want to understand for FY 23, what would be your idea of complete passenger vehicle volume this year, domestic market? What would be your idea?
I would say maybe around 4.5 million. Right now, we still have a problem, though the problem is much better for the semiconductor. As you know, the industry, there are demands, there are waiting periods. So 4 to 4.5 millions. And if the semiconductor problems solve totally, I think we should be able to reach more than 4 million.
Where's your next target? I remember we met in 2016. You wanted to be 10,000 crore by 2020, and now you have crossed that threshold. You did 12,000 crore last year. What is your next, long-term target, and how do you want to achieve that? How much of organic, inorganic, if there is something happening around that?
As I told you before, if the industry grow, whether two-wheeler, four-wheeler, tractors or CV, by 1x, we will grow 1.5x. So, and the second point is we are in the different product line. We always wanted to be number one by acquiring number one or maximum number two by acquiring more than 30% of that product line, means 30% cake of that potential.
What's your long-term target, next 5 years, 2030? Where do we see in terms of revenue, Minda Group?
So if the industry grow, we will grow by 1.5x. I don't want to give you numbers.
That's a very smart answer. Thank you so much for talking to ETAuto. Thank you.